Boston Consulting Group. That's where we're saying notes that the digital transformation is not just about the technology, but it's about rethinking business model. Can you share an example of how you have successfully rethought of rethought a business model during the transformation?
Yeah, I mean, business model elements could include a lot of different things, right? So you can be talking about different customer segments, channels for distribution and communication, revenue streams, or like cost structure. In my experience, has been focused on what I would call the cost structure side of the house, because I tend to work in like the back of the house, systems, processes, finance, actuarial, things of that nature. And in that scenario, we're working with systems and processes in a in a global firm with
Yeah.
globally deployed systems. And from a cost structure, that's always evolving, right? And that's the business model, right? That we have. And we're constantly challenging the status quo regarding the, what are the right shared service models for that kind of an environment? How do you provide the right level of service to local offices from a central location? What's really best to be delivered locally? Where do you need time zone specific, support, or where do you? I mean, in a highly regulated market, there's a lot of different regulatory requirements in each location that vary, right? So it's hard to have one global system that meets every single, demand of each local market, right? And the mix of business is different. The products are different, in each location. So how do you really support that? In one large project, when dealing with this issue, we actually decided it made the most sense for a particular capability to be supported outside of the main home office, right? So typically everything was managed centrally from our home office. And in this case, because of the mix of business and the size of the other locations, it made sense for them to actually take on global responsibility for a particular service for all the rest of the locations. That's, all the knowledge, all the resources, all the expertise for that service just resided in a different location. And the home office couldn't support it, in the way that they needed to. And so we had to come up with structures to manage that. It was really challenging because then you have to integrate kind of a shared service model between, multiple locations, and they have to work well together. And you're serving the global community, but it did lead to a better outcome for that particular transformation, and gave better value overall to the organization.